The most potent phone in Samsung's Galaxy series going forward is the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Samsung assures us that it will arrive early 2025, even if we do not have a specific release date. This means plenty of time to sort through, and yet some time before consumers start to think about updating. It's all well and well hearing about how the phone will work, but the bigger question is how the phone will look. The Galaxy S25 Ultra will mostly look quite like the present Galaxy S24 Ultra. Still, there can be some small variations that call for attention. The actual introduction of the Samsung Galaxy S25 series is coming up shortly with a rumored Galaxy Unpacked date in late January. And you should anticipate a lineup with a fresh One UI Android interface and phones driven by the new Snapdragon 8 Elite CPU. Before we get there, we have new leaked photographs purporting to show off dummy units of the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. For the last 2 months, we've had to rely on renders based on CAD designs to acquire a glimpse of an idea of what next year's flagship Android smartphones would look like. Regular leaker Galaxy posts 2 pictures allegedly representing the real Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. The pictures flaunt the Galaxy S25 Ultra with black and white rear frames. Looking at the rear of the handset provides the most information, since the front simply shows a turned-off display with bubbling screen protectors on the screen. As far as we're aware, the S24 Ultra did not ship with pre-applied protection. From the back we can see the rounded corners mentioned by prior speculations. It's a softer design compared to the harsher corners of the Galaxy S24 Ultra, yet it appears to have a tighter radius. For those who, despite the tips of sharp corners pushing into your palms, this should be relieving. We're speculating here because there's no profile view, but the sides of the smartphones appear to be flatter in contrast to this year's phone. We can notice that the display and rear panel are also flatter instead of the somewhat curved screen of prior years. The camera array appears to be laid up basically the same as the Galaxy S24 Ultra. However, the lenses themselves look to have a series of concentric rings, which is identical to those on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. We should stress that this is a leak, so take it with a grain of salt. However, it does appear to match with prior leaks and renders that we've seen of the handset. With all the processing power and leaked benchmark test results for the Galaxy S25 Ultra, it's certainly a phone that should have no issue running today's mobile games. However, it looks like Samsung's going to be counting on yet another feature to enhance the gameplay on its future flagship model. Galaxy again on X unveils a new game assist option with the Galaxy S25 Ultra that will create a more enjoyable gameplay experience with game assistance. Essentially, what occurs with Game Assist is that it will take games that are generally limited to 60 Hz, then upscale them to run at 120 Hz. This differs, and in addition to the present Game Booster option available in the S24 Ultra, which prioritizes the gaming performance by allocating resources to the GPU. Instead, Game Assist might offer the illusion of smoother scrolling and action by upscaling them to 120 Hz. All that power is necessary to help process the latest Galaxy AI features that are rumored to come to the S25 Ultra. Samsung announced that AI would be the main focus of the Galaxy S25 series, so we are hoping to see some spectacular AI-assisted features. For instance, something like the Galaxy Z Fold 6's exclusive sketch-to-picture feature would be great. We have heard about one probable new feature coming for the phones, purportedly that Bixby would be getting outfitted with generative AI. This would, in turn, take it to the same level as other AI assistants like ChatGPT and offer a leg up over Apple Intelligence's upgraded Siri. It should also be mentioned that the Galaxy S25 will certainly be able to adopt One UI 7, which promises new icons, enhanced circle to search, and a faster, more fluid experience. However, the Galaxy S25 Ultra will require more if it has any chance at snatching the crown from the Pixel 9 Pro XL and its package of AI functions. It's not just AI that is coming to the phones, but it seems Samsung is going to bring a handful of other fascinating features to be on the lookout for. Firstly, there are hints that the Samsung Galaxy S25 series could be the first Samsung series with satellite connectivity, meaning if the phone is in an area without its regular connection to the network, it could count on satellite connectivity as a means of communication in the interim. Not only that, there are suggestions that updating your phones could be considerably simpler. The S25 Ultra will support Android's seamless updating functionality. This functionality effectively replaces the current procedure where you have to download and then restart the device. There will definitely be more on the coming, and Samsung is likely to offer the same 7 years of software support that we have seen in other Samsung products. The main explanation postulated for the Galaxy S25's apparent low score was the RAM allocated to the device. With more channels for data to move through, more RAM could inherently enhance its processing performance. However, there have been 2 leaks that show this won't be such a huge issue on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. The initial report says that the Galaxy S25 Ultra would eventually come with 16 gigs of RAM. The introduction of extra RAM is already fairly nice, but it seems like the Galaxy S25 Ultra could use the latest UFS 4.1 speeds. These 2 improvements would allow the S25 Ultra to get the most out of the processor and improve the AI experience. The second leak seemingly validates this, since it provides the apparent Geekbench score of the Galaxy S25 Ultra. If accurate, then it looks like the Galaxy S25 Ultra will be considerably closer to the tested results we saw with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. One of the major changes coming to the Galaxy S25 Ultra is clearly the latest Snapdragon processor. We have heard from numerous sources that every version of the S25 will come with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, implying increased performance for all. When we were given the option to run benchmark testing on a reference device running the Snapdragon 8 Elite, we found it to be surprisingly powerful. Now, it should be emphasized that the tested gadget came with 24 gigs of RAM, but it exceeded every other Android chip now available. We also noted the processor comes close to exceeding the iPhone 16 Pro's A18 Pro chip single-core score, which is remarkable in itself given the relationship between Apple and Samsung. However, it isn't all good news and wonder, as a recently leaked benchmark result is putting a damper on the standard Galaxy S25's power. The basic Galaxy S25 isn't getting the most out of the chip and is slipping behind compared to other handsets. However, the S25 Ultra might have the remedy. As for the battery, one source points to a 5000 mAh one in the Galaxy S25 Ultra, which would mean no change from the current model's capacity. We've since heard this from another source, which indicated the Galaxy S25 Ultra's battery would be rated at 4855 mAh and promoted as 5000 mAh. Given time disparities in where those sources are based, these 2 leaks don't conflict, but the more likely date for people in the US and the UK is January 22. News concerning the probable price of the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is less positive though, as multiple sources have indicated the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset that we're anticipating it to employ would cost more than its predecessor. One source suggested the Snapdragon 8 Elite will cost around $40 more, with another suggesting the Snapdragon 8 Elite will be roughly 20% more expensive, and even Qualcomm themselves, who makes the chipset, has said the Snapdragon 8 Elite will be pricey. In which scenario, there's every potential Samsung will pass that cost increase onto purchasers, which means we might be looking at a starting price greater than the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultras. Samsung's next Galaxy S25 Ultra is building up to be a fascinating flagship, with whispers of additional features and hardware advancements. However, a recent leak implies the smartphone may come with a price increase, raising questions about its affordability compared to rivals like Apple and Google. A Weibo leaker, Setsuna Digital, claims the Galaxy S25 Ultra's bill of materials, BOM, is at least $110 greater than that of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. If Samsung passes this cost increase totally to consumers, the S25 Ultra's price might go from $1,299.99 to above $1,400 in some markets. This projected price tag ranks the S25 Ultra as one of the most expensive mainstream flagships on the market, exceeding competitors like the iPhone 16 Pro Max, $1,199, and the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, $1,099. While the Ultra series has always been pricey, a price bump for the second consecutive year could make it a tougher sell, even for committed Samsung fans. With a strong Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset and the upgraded One UI 7, the flagship Samsung phone is looking pretty fascinating. However, supposedly, the tablet is coming with a crazy price rise. Here's hope that is one leak that doesn't come true. There's an argument that cell phones aren't advancing as much as they used to, and that is undoubtedly true. However, the modifications Samsung is reported to introduce will give some rather startling quality of life improvements. The real question will be if they are enough to entice customers to purchase the phone, which may cost more than before or not. We hope that features like rounded edges, satellite connectivity, and increased performance will be felt by the user, even if they don't recognize it at first. Not to add the claimed upgrades will make the phone more speedier when playing games and other duties. As such, we do not doubt that the Galaxy S25 Ultra will find its way to our best Android phones list, and will more than likely appear on our top phones list in general. If these above speculations are right, then upgrading from the S24 Ultra might not be an instant choice, but it is one most consumers likely won't regret. Again, Samsung is anticipated to introduce the Galaxy S25 Ultra during Galaxy Unpacked 2025 around January 22. So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.